The Freedom Writer's Diary, Diary 24. Dear Diary, 5 a.m., the sound of my alarm clock woke me to a dark room this morning. The sun wasn't out yet, so I decided not to get up. My clock saw things differently and kept beeping. So I thanked my clock by throwing it on the floor. The beeping stopped. As I looked over to see where the clock had landed, I realized I too was lying on the floor. Why? Because I don't have a bed. I turned on the light so I could get started on my day. I walked past the closet mirror in the room to get my clothes. The mirror showed my sleeping space, a thick blanket, and a pillow. The mirror's reflection also revealed that the room does not belong to me. It made me feel sad, almost at the point of crying. I grabbed my clothes from the closet and walked down the long hallway to the bathroom. During my shower, I cried. Tears mixed with the water streaming down my face. I welcomed the pain that came with the tears. It's the only way I can deal with my current situation. The room, hallway, and bathroom don't belong to me. This is not my home. My mom is down the hall sleeping in a room, but this is still not my home. I don't have a home anymore. 5:30 a.m. I'm out of the bathroom, done with my shower and ready to go. I have to remind myself that today is the first day of my 10th grade year at Wilson High School. I should be happy that I get a chance to see my friends after not seeing them all summer. But I wonder if my friend's summer was as bad as mine. That summer was the worst in my short 14 years of life. It all started with a phone call that I will never forget. My mom was crying, begging and pleading, asking for more time as if she were gasping for a last breath of air. Though I never paid attention to adult matters, this time I was all ears. I never wanted to see my mom cry. As she hung up the phone, she turned around to see me standing there, confused and scared. I didn't know what was wrong. She quickly held me as tight as she could, hugged me, and said that she was sorry. She began to cry again, this time more so than when I walked in. Her tears hit my shirt like bullets. She told me that we were going to be evicted. She kept apologizing to me, saying she failed me as a mother and provider. She was a month behind on the rent. The landlord was already money hungry, so it made the situation worse. I was only 14 and too young to get a job. The only job I could get in my neighborhood was selling drugs, so I decided to pass. While kids were having fun enjoying the summer, I was packing my clothes and belongings into boxes and wondering where we were going to end up. My mom didn't know what to do or where to go. We had no family to lean on. No money was coming in. Without a job, my mom didn't have enough money to get another place. What to do? No father to help out, just a single mom and her son. The night before the sheriff was supposed to pay us an unwelcome visit, I prayed to God for a way out of this madness. Sad and depressed, I attempted to get some sleep that night in the hope something would happen. The morning of our eviction, a hard knock on the door woke me. The sheriff was here to do his job. We were moving all our stuff out as fast as we could. I started to look up to the sky, waiting for something to happen. I looked at my mom to see if she was all right because she was silent moving the stuff out. Our pastor had a friend who had a nice big house where he lived by himself. The pastor's friend, who was informed of our situation, welcomed us with open arms. The arms of a stranger were a lot more comfortable than the arms of the sheriff. 6 a.m. I'm waiting for the bus. Flashbacks of this summer pass through my mind like a song repeating itself over and over again. I try to tell myself it could have been worse. Nothing like this has ever happened to me. I started to think the situation was my fault because I always asked for the top video games every Christmas and birthday. I should have asked for something less expensive, something we could afford. 6:45 a.m. I've ridden one bus to catch another bus that will now take me directly to school. School. Why bother going to school? What's the use of going if I don't have a place to live? When friends ask how my summer was, what am I going to say? I was evicted from my apartment? I don't think so. I'm not going to tell a soul what happened. I knew everyone would be wearing new clothes, new shoes, and have new haircuts. Me? With outfits from last year, some old shoes, and no new haircut? I feel like it's hopeless to try to feel good and make good grades. There's no point to it. 7:10 a.m. The bus stops in front of the school. My stomach feels like it's tightening into a tiny little ball. I feel like throwing up. I keep thinking that I'll get laughed at the minute I step off the bus. Instead, I'm greeted by a couple of my friends who were in my English class last year. At that point, it hits me. Miss Gruwell, my crazy English teacher from last year, is really the only person that made me think of hope for my future. Talking with my friends about our English class and the adventures we had the year before, I began to feel better. 7:45 a.m. I received my class schedule and the first teacher on the list is Miss Gruel in room 203. I walk in the room and I feel as though all the problems in my life are not important anymore. I am home. Diary 26. Dear Diary, today I walked into my fifth period English class and all of the desks were lined up against the wall. On the chalkboard read 12 Angry Men, and under it listed the characters in the play. It looks like she wants us to role play. With my luck, I'm probably going to be the first person she picks. Why did I have to be transferred into this class? Everyone in here seems to know everyone else, just like that TV show, Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Well, I don't really talk to people, and I'm not sure nobody knows my name. I would like to keep it that way. Oh my God, she's going to pick me to be a character. I know she is. Great, just great. She's looking at me. Now everybody will know my name. I immediately stick my head into my backpack to search for something, anything, to look like I'm distracted. I can't take this. I don't need this kind of stress. Phew. She passed me up. I guess I got lucky this time. I hate talking in front of people, and all this teacher does is talk. She calls on people to answer questions, like they could give a smart answer right off the top of their head. Why can't she talk monotonously through the whole class period? Why couldn't she just be boring like my other teachers? Diary 32. Dear Diary, a year has passed since two of my friends died. Man, everyone respected those two. Those guys were the most loved cholos of the barrio. That's how I wanted to be when I grew up. All I wanted to do was impress them. While I was in school one day, they were killed while trying to commit a robbery. To think I could have been with them. After this incident, I started to see life from a whole new perspective. I had been taking the wrong path all along. Now, my best friend and I are the oldest cholos in the barrio. It was pitiful that all the older guys were either 6 feet under or living behind bars. As the weeks went by, I slowly changed my ways. I didn't want the younger ones to look up to me when I was a loser. I had done so much to hurt my community, and now it was time to do something to help them, to help it. Now the young ones are looking up to me as a role model. So I try my hardest to give a straight image on how things should be and make them see right from wrong. My neighbors adore me. I have a warm feeling deep down inside as if I am the chosen one in the barrio. But it hurts me to know that it took the lives of two dear friends for me to turn my life around. I guess it's never too late to change in life. If I did it, others should be able to as well. It really all depends on how badly one wants to change. I'm lucky to have another opportunity at a clean start. It's just too bad the two cholos were never given the same opportunity. Diary 34. Dear Diary, you're going to be so disappointed in me. Actually, I'm more disappointed in myself for the way I'm tricking people into believing that I'm something I'm not. Since I've been in Miss Gruel's class, everyone thinks I am Little Miss Goody Goody. It never fails. She always uses me as the good example. I'm seen as the kind of student that is quiet, has good grades, and is the teacher's pet. The strange thing is that while everyone around me is changing because of our toast for change, I seem to be the only one who's not going anywhere. It's hard for me because I have a lot of people who always tell me that I am smart and that I seem to have it all together, and they sometimes wish they were like me. If they only knew that on the inside, I am just barely keeping it together. I am living a lie. I am struggling with a deep secret, being a closet drinker. I walk around with my water bottle pretending to be better than what I am. Deep down inside, it hurts me that I can't bring myself to tell anyone about my problem. I do want to change, but it's so hard. It's so hard for me to change because I fear that people will not like the sober me. I've been doing it for so long, it's just a daily routine like getting up in the morning, going to the bathroom, and brushing your teeth. I can't keep on hiding the fact that I'm an alcoholic. I'm hiding it from my mom, Miss G, and all of my friends. I know I need help, but how do I go about getting it? It has got to be hereditary because not only do I have this problem, but my grandfather, my dad, and his mom had this problem also. I guess I was going to end up with it myself sooner or later. Let me tell you about my day. I woke up craving orange juice with a little hint of vodka. Guess what I did? As usual, I went to my secret stash and poured myself my favorite drink, vodka and orange juice. I started wondering how I am going to achieve anything in life if I can't even start the day without alcohol. Of course, my mom was already at work, so I walked out the door with my water bottle filled with OJ and vodka and went to school like it was an everyday thing. The thing that really got me was when I got to school. No one, I mean, not even Miss G or even my best friend, had any idea that I was drunk. I talked to my friends and teachers, and they didn't know. You know why? Because I have a trick. I stop off at the donut shop and buy a pack of gum after I get off the bus. Smart, huh? During PE, I almost drowned because my legs gave out on me while I was in the pool. Everyone thought it was because I was feeling fatigued, but I knew it was because I was drunk. At lunch, I could hardly stand. I ran to the bathroom and puked all over the stall. I tried to convince myself that it was because of the flu or something. By dinner time, I was back to the way people always saw me, sweet, smart, and innocent. My drinking never really bothered me before. We started reading all these books about people changing and wanting to make a difference. It makes me feel like such a hypocrite. The story that sticks with me the most is how the Nazis deliberately hurt innocent people like Anne Frank, and in my case, I'm the one who's hurting myself. I'm the one choosing to hide. Unfortunately, Anne Frank was never free. It makes me wonder if I'll ever be.